Hey everybody, Roger here. I hope you guys are all doing great. Sorry I have not been making a lot of videos lately, except for the one recently in regards to more of a personal item I've been taking care of. But I want to say thanks for all the positive vibes, energy, and the love. I really do appreciate it. It does go a long way. So kudos to you guys, even though I haven't done a great job in responding back. I do appreciate the sentiment and the appreciation. So what I wanted to talk to you guys today about was Smollett, Jussie Smollett. This morning, in a nutshell, basically Jussie Smollett's record has been wiped clean. And so what has changed? You know, initially he had 16 charges filed against him in Chicago, and now they have wiped that out to 0. He went ahead and forfeited the, I think it was a $10,000 bond to the city of Chicago. And everybody on his team is saying that they believe that this outcome is just, and that it's justice was served, or whatever you would call it. I'm like, all right, man, no. You know, the funny part is that Jussie Smollett's attorney, Jussie Smollett's lawyer, basically issued a statement saying that he was the one that was attacked. They're still going with that narrative that he was attacked. I think I know why they're going with that narrative, because of what happened during the initial Chicago PD statement. There were a lot of things that Chicago PD shouldn't have said during that time. That seemed accusatory, I guess, and very not far-fetched, and a lot of it seemed like fact. But I mean, but again, you don't present your information out there to the general public and then expect it to I don't know, expect it to play out in court. I don't know. We see that with a lot of cases right now, with the Stormy Daniels case, with all these other things, with things against Trump. So I mean, it's stupid. But realistically, they shouldn't have came out and started saying everything as fact and verbatim. They should have kept, you know, lined all of their ducks in a row. The statement that they initially had, it was in my opinion, it seemed the most realistic out of all the scenarios that were presented out there. But it is what it is at this point in time. I do think that ended up biting them in the ass. Something changed. Something big has changed. It was something that must have been presented or stated, or maybe a deal was brought to the table. I don't know. Between Chicago PD, I don't care what Chicago PD says about themselves. They are corrupt for the most part. I mean, you guys have so many unsolved mysteries, and yet you went at this with dollar signs in mind, is my personal opinion. But regardless, they had the power, I believe, to actually solve this and make Jussie Smollett a huge face the implications that he was faced with, fine him, charge him, and sentence him. They could have set him as an example, the example that he rightfully deserved, in my opinion. And again, I'm looking at this as, look at what just happened recently with Trump. You know, he's been exonerated, he's been vindicated regarding the whole Trump-Russia collusion. And I'm being a hypocrite right now because, you know, the left is actually saying, oh no, well, there's still this and this and this and this. And yeah, there's other things that came out of this case that that are going to be, you know, thrown at him. But a lot of them either don't associate him closely with those ties, or some of them do. But a lot of them were just findings of other people associated with him. And I'm kind of belittling them and saying, accept the results of this investigation against Trump. Look, am I doing that right here with Smollett? No. So yeah, I'm being a bit of a hypocrite. But the reason, and again, it's hypocritical. Regardless of what I say comes out of my mouth right now, I'm being a hypocrite. But I think we all understand that there is something going on behind the scenes here. I have to look at it at face value, though. If they don't have anything at this point, and they say that he's been cleared of all these charges, minus the forfeiture of his bond, we have to accept it, I guess. What are the implications? There's a lot of implications here. I mean, just so many to deal with. There's a guy named Eddie Johnson. He was one of the ones that spoke this morning. He said he's very upset about the... he wasn't one that spoke this morning. Sorry. Eddie Johnson, I believe, is in the police force. He's one of the speakers of the police that was very vocal about this. Basically said that he was upset about the charges being dropped. He found out when there was I guess there was a inauguration of officers this morning when he found out. And Jussie Smollett ended up speaking a couple of little lines this morning, and one of the lines that just kills me, one of the lines that he had said, is said something like, I would not be my mother's son if I was capable of doing the things that I've been accused of, something to that extent. I'm like, dude, that is a nothing burger line that means absolutely nothing. It has no substance, it has no value. It's just a generic line of oh, poor me, and trying to say, oh, your mother's a saint and what. No, your mother's not a saint either. There's a lot of people in your family who aren't saints, and you guys stray far from the truth, and you bend everything, and you've never been consistent. You haven't been consistent throughout this whole thing at all. You can go back and look at your interviews. You can go back and look at your statements to the officers. Nothing has been lining up. And then you go on public here and say this, and then you don't answer any questions. Again, probably at the behest of your attorney and your legal advisors or whatever. Don't answer any questions. I don't know. But now your case file is sealed, and there's so many questions to have answered here. I'm confused at to what is going on at this point. A deal must have been made. That's the only thing I could think of here. You know, to have everything be sealed. I mean, come on. Yeah, this is. We could say that this is a witch hunt to track or to trap Jussie Smollett, similar to what we say is the witch hunt to trap Donald Trump. Again, I'm being a hypocrite by saying, yes, this is in a way a bit of a witch hunt to ensnare what we do know that Jussie Smollett did. I mean, the triangulation, everything that the officers did to pinpoint the communication between Smollett, the calls that he made when the two guys were in, I believe, Turkey at the time. There was a call that was not intercepted, but it was like a 20 or 30-second call, and it was very quick between the two brothers, or one of the brothers, and Jussie Smollett, that was traced, and basically saying, you know, the job was done or something like that. I don't know if they got the information about what the call said, but there were communications to be had back and forth. So we could just piece all this together, and again, unless you have beyond a reasonable doubt, you really don't have anything. So should we accept the conclusion of where this is at this point? I guess we have to. But here's the thing. The left has been losing everything this last year. They lost the Covington kids scenario. You know, now CNN or a lot of news outlets are basically saying, oh, we're just bad at our jobs. Well, again, if you're bad at your jobs, then, you know, Facebook should be banning you, like they're, you know, and all social media should be banning you for reporting fake news, right? I mean, I don't understand. They're losing left and right. They're losing with the Trump-Russia collusion issue. They've lost with, well, they had to have this win with Smollett here. You know, they've lost everywhere else. So let's I guess we'll give him one. But the thing that stands out with that the majority of people understand regarding Smollett is he is a liar. We could just see it. Just like you guys can see, you know, that Trump is a liar. And granted, the guy's not a saint. Trump lies about quite a bit of things. I'm less and less of a fan of his than I was when I initially voted him in office. But what he does on an occasional basis comforts me in knowing that I did vote for him, and I will be voting for him in 2020 again, unless somebody better comes along, but I don't see that happening. But yeah, you know, it's I'm being a bit of a hypocrite. I'm contradicting a lot of the things that I stand for, and we all do it, all of us, even the best of us. You know, there's no, you know, you can look at all of your content creators and they'll have all these opinions and everything, and it's like, no, don't look at it as better than yours. You know, your opinion, you know, you have your own conclusion. You can draw your own conclusion based off of the things that you experience, you read, and you research and study, you know, and listen to them and take the information that they provide you and weigh that in with that as well. And then, you know, nobody's above you. Just stop thinking that. Just stop thinking, oh, you know, let's see what Ben Shapiro has to say. No, just go look all around. Just, yeah, get some points here and there. But I mean, at some point, you have to think for yourself. And stop looking at everybody as gods, and stop looking at this guy as a god as well. You know, it's sad, it's shameful, and it needs to change. Yeah, I agree. I do believe that Chicago is corrupt. I believe Smollett is corrupt. I believe whoever is behind his legal team is corrupt. I mean, God, we got who was the attorney that was representing him? He's part of CNN. I got a note here. Mark Garagos. He's a CNN analyst. That's right, and he was a co-conspirator to the what is that guy's name? Avenatti, the Avenatti guy, the busty pole dancer attorney. I forget. Anyways, he was linked with Avenatti in regards to the Nike scandal that's going on right now, and this was Smollett's attorney. I don't know what's going on with his legal team. I don't know how they got to this conclusion here with all this happening all at once. Something's up. I mean, just the timing of all this is insane. And yeah, and then Kim Fox, I would like to see if we can get a hand on the text messages that were sent between Jussie Smollett's relatives and her to find out what happened between that. What is going on there? We have to find out a little bit more of these things here. There's I don't know. It's just there's so much going on with this case. I'm just kind of over it, but we do have to keep it in the limelight. There's a lot of stuff that we have to discuss, that we have to push out there to show people, hey, we can't be taking this crap anymore. We can't keep having these false scenarios regarding fake hate crimes surface, cause such a big outrage, almost cause a rift between a lot of Americans and racial divide, and it's just insane. To have this met with zero charges, it's insane. I mean, and to have it be the case closed and sealed, it's an injustice to the chaos that Smollett has almost caused in America. And look, if people were attacked because of his actions, and come to find out that nobody actually attacked him, nobody white in particular, then this would have gotten out of hand. He would have had a lot. Look, he might not be paying time in this lifetime, but for the actions that he's caused, I don't give a shit what he says about, oh, I'm a saint, I'm a fighter for the community, the minorities, the underprivileged. Fuck you and your nonsense. We're not underprivileged. Yes, we are minorities, but we're not underprivileged. We're not this, we're not that. Quit fucking labeling us. We're not all siding with you on this shit. So to get off your high horse on that, stop being an activist for all this and that. Just be a voice for the people. If you're a voice for the people and you have no hidden agenda about you, you'll be golden. You'll be golden. But no, you have to have a fucking agenda. Make it all about race and everything. And I don't know. Where does Kamala Harris come into all this? Where does Cory Booker come into all this? Where do all these people come into this case here? There's a lot of unsolved mysteries, and all we can do is just keep throwing this out there. What he did was detestable. We know that he staged this attack. I mean, we know it from the brothers. Maybe the brothers were coerced on the side, basically saying, we're going to rip you guys to shreds and kill you and throw your bodies in the bottom of the river. Again, I'm thinking conspiracy theorists. We all do. I mean, God, all you anti-Trumpers were conspiracy theorists for the last 2 years, and you're still going to be conspiracy theorists. Even, look at CNN going on right now. They're saying, oh, there's still a lot of questions to be had, even though there's going to be no more, even though this has been thrown to the side now, there's nothing going on with the Mueller case anymore. You guys everybody's conspiracy theorists. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So stop with this fucking nonsense. That it's bad. I don't know. Conspiracy theory, in my opinion, again, opinion. I know that it has a dictionary definition that means, an assumption about certain things and going crazy and whatnot. But we all do this from time to time in our lives, and we should always be thinking in the back of our heads, because a lot of these conspiracies have actually come to fruition in the past couple of years. Actually, in all our lifetime, in all of life, they've always, a lot of them have amounted to being true. So it's not bad to question. Stop thinking that it's bad to question things, and ponder on the what ifs. There's nothing wrong with that. Continue to do that, regardless of what side you're on, my side or somebody else's side or whatever. So yeah, continue to support the marginalized people. Fuck you, Jussie. Fuck you. We don't need your fucking support. Last but not least, what does this signify? Big time. There is a divide. It's not a racial divide. It's a privilege divide. This guy has so much privilege, he's bleeding it out of his orifices. He's got his record wiped clean with Chicago PD on this case, and it's not something that would happen to everyday people. It's not. It's not. I mean, you see people go to prison, white people go to prison for the things that he's got away with here. Something behind, this is my conclusion, something behind the table happened. A deal was met between his legal defense and probably the Chicago PD. It's corrupt as fuck. Everything is. And they were able to allow him to wipe the slate clean. You know, what has happened, happened. And a slap on the wrist is all, the $10,000 bail, whatever, or bond, is all that he has to pay. And he's going to continue on with his life. Here's what's going to happen here as well, Jussie. Your career is shit. You're going to build up a little bit of a fan base for the people who don't know how to think for themselves, who can forgive you for almost causing a huge rift in America, alongside the likes of Nathan, whatever his name was, the Native American wartime vet, or whatever. Craziness, man. What are your guys' thoughts? I'm a little pissed off about this whole thing. But what can you do? You get up, you go about your day, you move on, you be vocal about these things, and go on to the next one and try to set a truthful example of the chaos that these kind of individuals like Jussie Smollett are causing, and then move on. You just gotta keep rolling with the punches, because it's never gonna go away. It's always gonna be there, and we can expose the liars. And whether justice here, again, I'm being a hypocrite because, you know, Trump has been vindicated, and I laugh at the people who are. I tell people, hey, look, you know, Trump's been vindicated. Just chill out here. At least for a lot of things, he's been vindicated on the Trump-Russia collusion thing. I'm being a hypocrite because I can obviously see that I'm doing the exact same thing here with the Jussie Smollett thing. You know, looks like they've exonerated him of all these issues here. I think it seems that's what the story is. But I'm not believing it. I'm not believing it. I believe that there's something happening behind the scenes. So to each their own. I'm guilty of being human, I guess, in that respect. What are your guys' thoughts? Is there something I may have missed? I know I've missed a lot, but I've been following this all morning while I'm coding, and I just want to get your guys' input. I want to throw my input out there as well. Again, sorry about not making any videos the last couple of weeks. It's been crazy. It's been hectic. Family issues as well, and dealing with a lot of things right now. So, love you guys. Like, hate, subscribe, unsubscribe, share, don't share. I do love it all, and peace out.